Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is my review of The Foreigner, directed by Martin Campbell, who also directed GoldenEye, Casino Royale. So we have two of the best Bond films out there, and Green Lantern, we'll forgive him that one, and so forth. It also stars Pierce Brosnan and Jackie Chan. So The Foreigner tells a story of a man who loses his daughter in a terrorist bombing, and played by Jackie Chan, and he seeks to know the identities of the men responsible. So he goes to Pierce Brosnan, who is a politician, and he's also an ex-member of the IRA, because he believes he has the answers he's looking for. So The Foreigner, I really enjoyed this movie. Let me get that out there right away. It reminded me a lot of Collateral Damage, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that had a similar premise to this one, and a little bit like Taken. Now, this movie, I think for people going in expecting your typical Jackie Chan beat 'em up, they are going to be disappointed by this film. They're probably going to see it as this movie is not all that. And I have to disagree, because it's very rare we get to see Jackie Chan in roles like this one, where we see his acting ability. Not that he doesn't act in his other films, but he's one of those actors that I feel needs to be in the hands of a good director to get that kind of performance out of him. I remember how blown away I was when I saw his performance in the Karate Kid remake, otherwise known as the Kung Fu Kid. And his performance here mirrors that. It reminds me a lot of Stallone's performance in Creed, where we get this much older, kind of worn down character, but he still has his skills. He still has that skill set to get things done. But this is a man who's seen a lot of grief in his life. He's maybe a little bit emotionally unstable, and his daughter was his world. So with her gone, he becomes very focused on finding that vengeance, that revenge. And then we have Pierce Brosnan, who I also think was superb in this role. I can't remember the last time I've seen Brosnan give this level of work. Maybe in GoldenEye. And here he gets to use his normal speaking voice, his Irish accent, and his character here is also, he gets some of the meatier dialogue, he gets some of the more emotional scenes, I should say, and he does really well with them. He is very, very good here, and they are almost two sides of the same coin, in the way that these men, their past lives have made them the way they are. And Martin Campbell, he directs the hell out of this movie, because this movie, it doesn't have like a breakneck pace to this film. It takes the time to develop the story, to develop the side characters, even though most of the focus is on Brosnan and Chan. The movie does a really good job of just giving you bit by bit pieces of who these men are, and it lends to the weight of the story. So I quite enjoyed that style of it. It's been a while since I've watched a movie that I could just kind of slow down and digest it. You know, I'm not just at this breakneck speed, action. And it's not that this movie doesn't have action sequences, it does, and they're very well choreographed. They're very well executed. The bombing scenes are very, very impactful, especially considering the world we live in today. And that's another aspect of this story that I quite liked, because you get to see the political side of the terrorist bombings and how politicians use that those heinous acts to maybe their benefit. And then you get to see the personal side, Jackie Chan's side of the story, of how this affects a single individual. So The Foreigner, I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of Jackie Chan, especially if, like me, I personally, I don't really like I enjoy Jackie Chan's action movies, don't get me wrong, but I've never really seen him as an actor until, like, there's just some roles that he really stands out in, and this is one of them. And like I said, this is one of Brosnan's strongest performances in quite some time. I like the pacing, I like the directing, the execution of this film was really good, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. So definitely go watch it. But Again, I have to warn you, if you think this is an all-out action flick because you're seeing Jackie Chan and maybe the trailer is kind of building it to look like Taken, it's not that kind of movie. It does have a few action sequences in there, but this movie is more about the story than the action. So The Foreigner gets a 7 out of 10. And that's going to be it for me, guys. Short and sweet. So until next time, bye bye.